Can you take the championship from DNZ? This year, you can play our football pick'em on CBS Sports and compete against us in an option every week. Check the link in our Instagram bio, Fade Route Podcast, for all the details and to sign up. Then tune into the Fade Route every week until the Super Bowl for updates and standings. Bring it on.
It's Red Light, Green Light 1, 2, 3 with D and Z. Here are your hosts, D and Z. Welcome everybody to Red Light, Green Light 1, 2, 3 with D and Z. I am Z, and here's how it goes. D and I are going to give you our top 1, 2, 3 fantasy starts or green lights, and top 1, 2, 3 fantasy starts or red lights. We're going to start with our green lights first. D, who are your top 1, 2, 3 green lights for this week?
All right, so first up, I'm starting with Rashee Rice.
Okay.
Wide receiver on the Kansas City Chiefs, going up against that Denver D tomorrow night. I think he gets you a touchdown and maybe 80 or 90 yards. Number 2, I've got the Titans versus Lamar and the Ravens. Lamar and the Ravens look awful against a shitty Pittsburgh defense. Could just imagine with a good Titans defense is going to do those boys. And number 3, I've got Justin Fields against the Vikings D.
Whoa.
He looked good last week. I think he's the number 1 or number 2 fantasy quarterback right now. So, yeah, he keeps it going.
Solid. I'm going to start with Alvin Kamara against the Texans. He looked fresh. He looked back. It was Alvin Kamara. So, get ready, boys, because he's coming. Number 2, Jonathan Taylor against the Jaguars. He's ready. He's fresh. He's coming. I hope you're sensing a trend. And number 3, my third pick, the Bills defense against the Giants, even without Matt Milano. There's enough there. The Giants are nothing to write home about, and the Bills are going to live in that backfield. Those are our green lights. Who are your red lights, D?
All right, so red light, first one I have was Brock Purdy versus Cleveland. I believe Cleveland gives the 49ers their first loss this weekend. I'm all over this. I got Brock Purdy having a tough day. Number 2, Jalen Waddle, who really hasn't had a good fantasy season so far. Don't count on him to play well against Carolina. And do yourself a favor and sit every single Patriot against the Vegas Raiders this weekend, because I don't think anything good's going to come from it.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate. I mean, prediction?
Pain.
So, my first red light, my first sit. I'm going to have to go Sam Howell against the Falcons. I don't like what I'm seeing in recent weeks. Turnovers are piling up. He seems to be losing his composure a little bit. And he's not who we thought he was. To quote the great Dennis Green, he's not who we thought they were. Not who we thought they were. Number 2, I'm sitting Kirk Cousins against the Bears. I just don't think that he's going to be ready to go with those weapons. It's not great. You have Hawkinson, and then who else? And the Vikings offense is so turnover prone that it could very well, he could still play decent, but only put up like wide receiver numbers or running back numbers. Turnovers kill you. So I would probably pump the brakes on Kirk Cousins. And then last but not least, I'm sitting the Jet defense against the Eagles. Yes, the Jet defense is good, but the Eagles offense is better. I think that Jalen Hurts is probably going to rush for 2 touchdowns, 2 tush pushes. I don't think this is the week they figure out the tush push or the brotherly shove. I like that name better, though. Brotherly shove. It's a good one. But I think the Eagles are going to be all over the Jets, and it is going to be a massacre at MetLife. But those are our red lights. Those are our green lights. What are yours? Hit us up, faderoutemail@gmail.com. Slide in our DMs on IG at FadeRoute Podcast. Drop us a DM on X at FadeRouteDNZ. It's time for us to run the goal route again. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you like what you heard and want to hear more, be sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Rate us 5 stars, leave us a review, turn on subscription notifications, and tell your friends. Spread the word, spread it wide.